Okay, we're ready for the tour of South Wales. Lynn is all ready. The trailer washed this morning and looking forward to a great drive. The weather looks reasonable, so here we go.
Talk about a load of idiots having fun.
Llwyn Caravan and Camping Site, just outside of Merthyr Tydfil, is a cracking base camp if you want to explore the Brecons and beyond. One word of advice though, with a nearby Llwyn Onn Reservoir, in evenings the midges will descend, and yes, they will eat you for supper.
Saturday morning and the guest house residents joined the campers and the day trippers by the tents. Rally plaques were fitted to cars and we made ready for the off.
Got me taking go to blow my top. If you start me up, slide up, never, yeah.
With Gar in the lead and Betty, the Trans Mondeo, we headed out westwards on the A470 in the direction of Brecon.
You make your groom and cry. Sprayed out the gasoline. She's move right a man.
I did get a few bemused looks at pulling the convoy over after only 5 minutes, but the views across the reservoir are absolutely spectacular, and I just had to get some photographs.
The road alongside Llwyn Onn was truly spectacular.
The Austin Sprite, was being piloted by Dean and navigated by Liz. Henry the JC Midge was piloted and navigated by Gus, whilst Andy had brought his MGF. Gin and Sarah came in their huge Granada Estate, and Graham and Sue took the roof down on their lovely Rover 216. Nick was on an economy drive in his MGR V8, which was cheaper than the Jensen. Chris and son Riley were touring in their Stag. Gar was driving Betty the Trans Mondeo, and Anthony and Pat were in Egbert their 1965 MGB Roadster. Richard was piloting his lovely Granada, which was followed by Lincoln in his little white van, and Liam and the Wolf in his People Terrier. Keith was also with us in her Benz, his 5-litre Mercedes.
Off to collect another fare. What's this? Wales and sunshine? Surely this can't be right.
Oops, we should have turned left there. Let's all turn round and go back in the right direction.
I blame the sat-nav. Somehow it rerouted itself and took us back towards the campsite. So I was a little bit red-faced and had to turn the convoy around. But it's not the first time it's happened.
That's it, we're on tour. Taking a wrong turn already.
I say, they're all going in the opposite direction, Camilla. Whoa! Turn around quickly, Charles! Following behind me was Chris Ball and his son Raleigh, who had brought along their gorgeous Triumph Stag. manual with overdrive. First time we've ever seen this car on tour, and it's a beaut. Sounds great, so thanks for bringing it, guys.
Roof down, it felt as if we were heading for the top of the world as we ascended to the upper moorland of what used to be known as the Brecon Beacons. I dare not try to pronounce its new Welsh name.
Some lovely open roads to drive along. Even John Ticehurst came along.
Having descended from the Brecon Beacons into the valley floor near Rhigos, we then had to climb back up to the Rhigos viewpoint to take in the views, including the various zip wires.
The Rhigos Mountains. What a gorgeous place to stop.
The car park offers stunning views from the top of Rhigos Mountain, and I'll tell you don't see that every day back in Birmingham.
When your classic car cover is coming up for renewal, try our club scheme arranged with Peter James Insurance. It offers great rates and a range of exclusive benefits, including free salvage retention and multi-vehicle options. Just click the link in the description below to get a quote.
My MGB loved its brakes squealing to let everyone know I was coming.
we descended back down to the valley floor and the typical mining village of Treherbert.
Driving at 20 miles an hour through the towns and villages was really hard work.
We loved the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit signs used outside schools. They have built some magnificent bridges in the valleys, this being a typical example.
Now in Merthyr Tydfil we're approaching Cyfarthfa Castle Museum and tea with cake. Cyfarthfa Castle was built by William Crayshaw, who owned the ironworks in Merthyr Tydfil. Any idea where the cakey is?
Yes, there's plenty just over there, look.
Righto, I'm off.
Another fantastic piece of modern engineering, one of the many bridges across the A465, the heads of the Valley Trunk Road.
Our next stop was at the Pontypool and Blaenavon Railway. The line from here is the highest and steepest in Wales, climbing through the Blaenavon World Heritage Site and the wild and dramatic moorland landscape under the brooding Coity Mountain. On arriving in the railway car park, Dean took the chance to film the cars again. So starting with his and Liz's Sprite, Gus's Henry, the JC Midge, and Andy Perman's lovely MGF, looking gorgeous in the sunshine. Then Anthony and Pat's MGB Roadster, again looking smashing in the bright sunshine. Ian's white Ford Granada Estate, and Nick's MGRV8, very nice. These are the last two is Graham's lovely Rover and Gar's Mondeo Mark 1.
A Hufflepuff thingy.
We all made it to the railway station in time for our train, which was booked to depart at 2:30 p.m. Built by the Hunslet Engine Company in Leeds in 1937, Jesse, our engine, pulled the small train well.
Some of our cars don't shine as much as this engine did.
Our ride visited all the stations on this preserved railway. Setting off from Furness Siding Station, we visited Blaenavon High Level, Whistle Halt, Coed Avon, and then return to furnish sidings. Gar, in organising the visit, had booked us into a first-class compartment. What luxury!
We managed to find a pub that would accommodate all 16 of us to eat a meal on Saturday evening. Whilst the meal was fairly ordinary, Beth, our waitress, was extraordinary.
Sunday morning, and the convoy departed from the campsite for the Big Pit mining museum. The original plan had been to take the heads of the valley road up to it, but Gar came up with a delightful route that took us up through the valleys.
Something had Liz feeling very affectionate, but you know what they say, what happens on tour stays on tour.
Another day for top-down motoring. Something must be wrong with the Welsh weather. The Welsh government has spent billions on the heads of the Valley Road, making it a wonderful road to travel on.
Rascal, wearing his group t-shirt, rode on the warm gearbox tunnel, sheltering from the wind with the roof down.
Being a Yorkshireman, there's a lot of history of mining around my area. Unfortunately, most of the pits, in fact all of the pits, have closed around where I live. And so when Gar said we were going to go down the big pit in Wales, I thought, yep, here's my chance to get down there. So I jumped at the opportunity and really look forward to it.
Show us your teeth, Keith. Team photo.
The video. Say hi, dear.
Hi. Tony, you missing it.
We're off, Dad.
Part of the reason for bringing the car group to Big Pit was I wanted to show them part of my family's mining heritage. Both my paternal and maternal grandfathers were miners, and fellow tourists Sue Clamp and Andy Perman are also from mining families, and we're only actually 2 generations away from them. And sitting in the restroom afterwards, it was quite an emotional experience talking about our grandfathers and how lucky we are not to have had to work in such conditions. We weren't allowed to actually film in the mine itself due to the risk of explosion. I was surprised to find that there was that much dust down there still, that one spark could cause an explosion. Nonetheless, once we descended the 300 foot down the mine shaft and got there, not only is it as dark as you would imagine, it's extremely claustrophobic. The tour guide was absolutely brilliant. I wasn't prepared for how difficult it would be to get about. The ceilings were only 4 foot in places and sometimes a bit lower, which when you're over 6 foot is extremely difficult to walk along the tunnels, and they go on for quite a way. I remember my grandfather saying stories about lying on his side in 4 foot roofs, chipping away at the coal face, and doing that for 12 hours a day is just unbelievable. And in the early days there were children as young as 5 spending 12 hours in the pitch black, opening and closing ventilation doors. It's frankly quite horrific, but it's fascinating to watch. As I mentioned, both my grandfathers were miners, and my great-grandfather, Alfred Beach, and his brother Horace were part of the Romney Valley mine rescue team, as you can see in the photos above. And they were part of the team that helped rescue the trapped miners after the 1913 Singhenith colliery explosion. It took several days, but they managed to rescue 18 people and recover as many bodies as possible. But incredibly, over 400 miners lost their lives, which shows what an incredibly dangerous occupation mining was. What I find really shocking even now is that the mine owner's shores were fined a total of £30, which at the time worked out to about 1 shilling 1 penny for every miner lost, which in today's money is about £7 per person. And I think it's important that Big Pit continues to stay open, and that children who sometimes think they have a hard lot in life today actually see what it was like even 50, 60 years ago. I recommend taking anybody there, but you need to be fit and able.